Hey guys, Minecraft Doctor here. Welcome back to Dream Daddy Dad Dating Simulator. Last time Matt took our heart, ripped it out of our bodies, and just crushed it in his hand. Because that's a thing he does. He crushed it, he friend-zoned us. All because we suck at playing music. So I'm gonna go back in time, because fuck that guy. Even though I still love him secretly, but like, fuck that guy. And we're gonna continue by going down to my last save on Dad book. And hopefully it keeps everything except for the third date with Matt. So 2 dates with him. Who did I do before him? It was Brian. Okay, I have the 2 dates with Brian, so this is exactly where I was beforehand. This is exactly the point. So, at Matt's third date, we kind of saw at the open mic night. We're going to blow him off for that, by the way, because that's how time travel works, because it's technically the same day. But anyways, Hugo was there with Damien. So I think they might have a thing going on. You know what? Hugo's my second choice. I have to romance Hugo once I finish all the dates, all the first and second dates I haven't done with the dads. And I haven't done a single date with Damien. Maybe Hugo saw I was trying to romance Matt, or maybe I was spending a lot of time with Brian, so he tried to go to Damien, but you know what? No. I will draw Damien away from Hugo. I love doing his voice, by the way. Yes, he's the only dad I haven't done the first date with. How do you do? I have finally decided to join this information superhighway. I'm not entirely sure how this works, but I will try my best to understand. I love long strolls through graveyards and spending time with my son. If you would ever like to chat about the latest in Victorian fashion, the inevitability of our own demise, or black cats, please send me a letter. On Friday night, you are most likely to listen to true crime podcasts while I taxidermy my newest specimens. You have specimens? Goodness, dude. If you had one thing to take with you, a coffin. What are your turn-ons? Pronouncing bosom correctly. I guess I didn't, so... Maybe it's bosom. Why is it a turn-on? It's so weird. What did you want to be when you grew up? A bat. Okay, what's your favorite movie genre? Foreign art house horror. Of course it's horror. But foreign art house, that's good additions. What's your ideal date? It's night. We are at an industrial darkwave club in Berlin. The music drums to the beat of our hearts. That's really specific. Anyways, we're gonna message Damien. I don't know why it took me so long to get around to him. I don't hate him, but like he just seems the least attractive to me. I hate Brian, so you know what? Damien is above Brian. So if that means anything to you people, yeah. Damien seemed really interesting. A little odd, but interesting. I think I should hang out with him to get him to know him a little better and draw him away from Hugo. I navigate to Damien's dad book page and type out a message. Hey dude, you seem cool. We should hang out sometime. You seem cool is never a good thing to say to someone. I sit there for a minute before I see that Damien's typing. But then he keeps typing. And typing. Oh no, man, is this guy writing a novel? I leave the computer to make some coffee. And he's still typing. I sip my coffee and the computer finally dings. Dawnin'. I knew it would be a short thing. I must confess my excitement to be receiving your kind letter, for, as you see, I do find myself available to enjoy your company. I must ask for your forgiveness, however, as I believe our first meeting did not paint me in a gentlemanly manner, as I would have liked. Oh, whoa, there's more. I would be highly flattered to enjoy your companionship at my residence for an afternoon tea, and a stroll around my garden, should it please you. Till then, adieu, yours humbled, D. Bloodmarch. I stare at the screen and reread the letter several times more. Hey, Amanda, can you help me with something? Dad, for the last time, I'm not popping your back pimples. You! God! I did not need that line of dialogue in my life. No, can you interpret this for me? I turn the computer to Amanda and she squints at Damien's message. I just don't understand NetSpeak. Like, is this how you kids communicate with each other now? Oh, totally. This is the hot new thing. See, Dad, kids got over saying lol and lamau or whatever, and decided that what they needed to do was bring it back to the 1800s. So what do I do? Where's your pen and quill? What? Did you forget to unpack the pen and quill? Dad, how will we address the nobleman in regards to your upcoming debutante ball? Okay, now I know you're messing with me. I was wondering how long it would take me to catch on. Father, without a proper chaperone, you'll never end up with a suitor worthy of our land. She's going with me? To Damien's house? Or our dowry. Or, so you read Pride and Prejudice for school one time, and now so you read Pride and Prejudice for school one time, now you're reciting things you know about it back to me, aren't you? Like, the first 5 pages, then I read a review of the movie. Still gotta be, though. Great, so what do I say to Damien? I got this. Amanda reaches over me and types on the keyboard. Sure thing, dude. Regards. Darnin. Amanda hits and sends a smile at me. Well, I suppose that's that. Oh, this guy's house. Number one, whoever did the art for his house specifically. Because I know a whole bunch of people did art for this game. This looks amazing. I make the short walk over to Damien's house. Well, I guess you can't really call it a house. It's more of a manor, estate. The Gothic architecture looms over the other homes in the cul-de-sac. I walk past a couple of gargoyles guarding the front door and look around for a doorbell. There doesn't seem to be one, but there is a knocker. I pull the large, ornately carved bat's head door knocker back, and a hollow sound echoes throughout the house as I strike it against the door. Whoa. I wait several moments before the door slowly creaks open. It's a little creepy, but I enter the home and take a few steps into the foyer, nothing the oil portraits of who I assume are dead relatives hanging on the wall. Noting. Sorry, not nothing. Whoa. Those relatives, though, one of which is a dog. Or is that an alpaca? I don't know what that is. As I'm admiring them, the front door slams shut behind me. Hello? Silence. An oil lamp in the corner flickers dimly, casting ominous shadows against the wall. Why do I feel like all the people in these paintings are staring straight at me? Why is it so cold in here? There's a fire right there. Why don't I go to it? Where's Damien? Darnin, pleasure to have you in my home. I look up to see Damien standing at the top of a majestic staircase with a walking candle holder. What's with the door slamming shut? Oh, sorry, there was a draft. Of course there was. And the door creaking open when I knocked. I accidentally left the door unlocked. And the creepy oil paintings. I like oil paintings. Right. Please, let me show you around. Okay, I feel like I have no chemistry with this guy. Like, that may be what, like, turned me off to him for so long. But I just feel like we have, like, 0 in common. And not just me, just, like, the dad protagonist and Damien seem to have 0 in common. Damien leads me around his house, showcasing his parlor, sitting room, auxiliary sitting room, and the parlor again for some reason. This is one of the older homes on the block, yes, but nowhere near as old as the architecture might suggest. Through extensive renovations, I have been able to craft a residence that is both historically accurate to the Victorian period and equipped with the amenities of any modern dwelling. I can tell why Hugo likes him. We walk past a door covered in bumper stickers, caution tape, and a black parade poster. Did they listen to My Chemical Romance in the Victorian era? That's my son's room. You know how the rebellious teenage years are. Onward, onward, there's more to see. That's like the second My Chemical Romance reference in this game. Like, what the heck? Not that they're bad or anything, just like reference other people, please. We reach a door at the end of the hall that Damien opens with a flourish. And this is the library. Sunlight streams in from floor-to-ceiling arched windows. The walls are lined with packed bookshelves, and even more books are scattered over the period-appropriate furniture. Damien is clearly really proud of this room. Look out the window, look at the butterflies, pick up a book. That's enough of the tour. You know, I'm interested in the butterflies. Ah, hearts, yeah. I walk up to the glass display of pinned bugs on the wall. It's pretty impressive. Nice bugs. I pinned them all myself. Maybe I can show you how sometime. Okay. I'm concerned I would stick the pin right through my finger. The pinner's gambit. Is that a thing? No. Look at the window. This place probably has a good view. Oh, so I get hearts for all of these just because, yeah. Or maybe he doesn't want me touching his books. He has as many books as Hugo, so I walk to the window and I'm greeted by a beautiful view of Damien's backyard. It showcases a beautiful view of the rest of the cul-de-sac. Hey, I can see Craig on his lawn. He's doing push-ups with his daughters on his back, including like his daughters and River. Damn. He sees me and waves happily, doing push-ups with one hand now. Son of a bitch. Oh, I don't know if he brags more than Brian or not. Damn. Did you know that Victorians spent at least 20 hours a week gazing longingly out at full-length windows? Wait, really? No, but Victorians did appreciate telling a good joke. Okay, good. He's not like I don't pick up my book types. You know, Don, and in the Victorian era, there was some controversy surrounding reading. Many people thought the more tawdry novels would encourage youths into a life of crime and would cause too much of a distraction from work and school. I pull out a book at random and examine the worn cover. Opening it, I turn to a random page and read aloud. Naruto struggled against the chains that Sasuke had bound him with. Shirtless and out of breath, he looked up at Sasuke. Sasuke smirked, unbuttoning his ninja pants. Why is he... What's the name for manga porn? Yaoi? Or something like that? Because I know hentai is anime porn. Even though that word just means pervert in Japanese. But, like, I assume this belongs to his son. That's all I'm...
Oh my.
Okay, I think that's enough. Damien snaps the book shut and puts it back onto the shelf. Damien straight up has Naruto fanfiction. Holy shit! He's secretly a huge weeb. That's awesome. That's a rare book for my private collection. Please, will you join me for tea? Oh, that was great. I'm sorry. I follow Damien to his sitting room, where finger floods have already been set out upon a beautiful, tiered silver tray. I take a seat on one of the high-backed chairs as Damien pours and serves me some tea. I can't believe we're having a high tea. I never thought I'd get to do this. Damien smiles to himself. What?
Oh.
It's a common misconception that the high tea refers to the wealth or class of the people enjoying it, when in fact the high refers to both the later time of the day that the working class had to enjoy tea, and the height of the tables on which they're served. Whoever did the research for his lines, I love you. Oh, my dear friend, we're currently enjoying afternoon tea. That's informative. Damien takes a seat next to me and serves me a tiny sandwich. Your home is really impressive. Are there a lot of goths in Maple Bay? Don't. I like your cape. I'm going to say your home's impressive. Eggplants. Okay, I'll take it. It seems like you've really put a lot of work into this place. Thank you. Why'd he hesitate? No one's ever complimented my home before. How? It's huge. Have you never had people in your home? Is that why? Have you never been out of your home? Because your skin is really pale. Hell, I can barely get matching salt and pepper shakers in my place, and look at what you've done. I'm kind of jealous. That's very generous of you to say. What got you so interested in goth stuff? Well, when I was a young boy, my father... Did he take you into the city? Sorry? Haha, did you guys see a marching band? I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm afraid I don't understand either, Darnan. Where are you going with this? You're serious? Is this a reference to a movie or a song that I don't know? Of course. But it's, you know, the song. Amanda made me listen to it. Oh, a goth song. She made me listen to a goth-themed song to, like, relate. I don't know. Seriously? I deserve shadows for this whole conversation, but I didn't instigate it, so I'd love to see a marching band. I don't know what song we're talking about, but I love this. Nevertheless, I've always had a love for art, history, and fashion. What started off as a small hobby of collecting taxidermied animals grew into sort of an obsession. It's a privilege to be able to appreciate the lives and cultures of those who came before us, I think. Why not go all the way? I'd like not dying when I catch a cold. He takes a sip of tea. Yeah, because his immune system would, like, suck if he did that all the way. I can acknowledge that there were many very terrible things about the Victorian era, and to try to live a life that strictly aligns with those ideals would be admittedly horrid. But I think it takes a critical mind to truly appreciate something to the fullest, to be cognizant of its flaws and love it all the same. Tell me, Darnin, do you have any hobbies? Oh man, I do, but I don't know if I care anything about the way you do about this stuff. Well, I'd love to hear about your interests. Hearing someone talk about the things they're passionate about is intriguing, and quite honestly rather attractive. This is why he's into Hugo. Son of a bitch is taking Hugo from me. Please, do tell me about your hobbies. Damien is really growing on me. Like, I had a friend tell me that Damien was, like, super cool. And, wow. Quick, sounds sophisticated. I like watching soap making videos on the internet. Love me some word jumbles. Oh, is it anti mind control soap? Anyone who gets that reference, virtual high five. Love me some word jumbles. I really do. I learned how to juggle once. I could probably tell him how to make soap. But all I know of I learned how to juggle. No, word jumbles. Okay, that works. That works. The written word fascinates me. We spend so much time using words, you know, and I think people would appreciate them more if they had to unjumble them. It's poetic, really. It's poetic, really. You know, I gotta say, something I haven't really commented on until now, but, like, I know I usually skip ahead so I can read all the text, because I am reading it as it goes, but, like, while the text is, like, scrolling, like, while it's, like, typing itself out in every line of dialogue, it does it at a speed that, like, an actual person would say it. So, like, every time there's a comma, that it actually, like, stops for a minute before it starts typing the next thing, or a period, or whatever. And I think that's a really cool detail, and I have no idea how much coding they had to have gone into that. Because it's every line of dialogue they had to program that for. So, like, that's just crazy to me. Which also makes me wonder how they didn't catch all the typos, but, like, at the same time, it's cool. Oh, so you're a writer? In a sense. We finish our tea and finger sandwiches. Come, I have one more thing to show you. It's his garden. We're going to his garden. Damien takes me around the back of his home, where a variety of flowers flourish in beautifully landscaped rows. A small stone path weaves through it, and butterflies flit lazily through the air. My garden. It's beautiful. Thank you. Victorians took flowers and floral arrangements very seriously. You see, it was considered uncouth to discuss personal and romantic relationships in public, so lovers and friends alike would use bouquets to send secret messages to each other. Each flower and plant is symbolic of different feelings. I actually know some stuff about that, like white tulips. They symbolize hope. Yeah, that's all I know. Even more interesting is that one flower could mean different things depending on the other plant it was paired with. One had to be extremely careful, as even the style in which the ribbon was tied around the bouquet affected the message. Oh, cool. So it was like a sort of secret code that you can decipher with the flowers and the ribbon. Damien leans down and plucks a gorgeous bright orange flower off of a vine. How did nobody pick up on that? I don't know. Lilium bulbiferum, the orange lily. What do you think this one means? My loins are ablaze, thou art the tightest. 3 cheers for sweet revenge. My loins are ablaze is funny to me. And that is actually something I can hear a Victorian person saying. But that also sounds like too much of a cliche. Also, is that like a wall in the background, or does he actually have mountains behind his house? Is this like an indoor garden, or... I don't know, man. Thou art the tightest. No. 3 cheers for sweet revenge. Also sounds like the thing. I knew it. Oh, I'm gonna get shadows for that. I knew it. The orange lily is actually symbolic of pure hatred. If I said revenge, that would have been good. Well... And that's precisely why floral arrangement is so challenging. Well, I didn't get shadows for it. So he's a cool dude who won't give me shadows because I simply don't know. It was a good guess that my loins were ablaze. What's your favorite type of flower? A snapdragon's honeysuckle sunflowers. I like sunflowers. They're nice and simple. They remind me of sunshine, and then you can eat the seeds as a delicious snack. What a practical choice. Nothing for that? Aw, my stomach grumbles. Oh man, now I want sunflower seeds. I don't even like sunflower seeds. I'll have to remember that when I put together a bouquet for you. He's putting together a bouquet for me! That may have been the girliest thing I've ever said, goodness. He would put together a bouquet for me? That's what I just... nobody's ever given me a bouquet before. I wonder why. I follow Damien down the footpath and admire more of his beautiful flowers. Suddenly... I'm trying to place that ringtone, I'm sorry. I usually turn down the volume on this so much you probably can't hear it. I might turn it up for that part. Future me, make it happen. Suddenly a phone rings. Oh, Donnan, will you excuse me? I must take this. If it's Hugo, I swear to God. He pulls a cell phone out of his pocket. I'm a little surprised it's not a rotary phone. I know, right? Go for it. Damien smiles and walks back to the house. I take a deep breath and enjoy the heavily perfumed air. What a lovely yard. This makes me wish I had put a little more effort into that garden Amanda and I tried to start one time. Our watermelons grew to the size of cherry tomatoes and then immediately died. Oh hey, a gargoyle. Oh no, I knocked over the gargoyle. Oh, what have I done? Oh, we're doing the gargoyle minigame. Fix that gargoyle. Okay, good. Okay, head. What? Okay, good. Alright, I thought I would... That's really easy, by the way. Like, I only have a minute to do it, and I kept worrying I would run out of time because I couldn't figure out the right placing of the stuff, but like... It wasn't too bad, that was easy. I expected worse from something called the gargoyle minigame. And I don't know if I'll have to do a more intense version of it soon, because that seemed almost deviously too easy, you know? Whew, that was a close one. Uh-oh, here comes Damien. He looks upset. That was loud, Jesus. Donnan, my sincerest apologies to have kept you waiting. There's an urgent matter that I must attend to, so I'm afraid I must take my leave. No problem, dude. Everything alright? Oh, that was weird. Everything alright? Damien wears the hem of his coat with his fingers and looks away. Everything is perfectly fine, but it's Lucien. What's wrong? He appears to have, well, his teacher needs me to come to the school, post-haste. Is it like Hugo? Are you sure you're not lying to me so you can spend more time with Hugo? Do you need help? Oh no, you don't have to. Let me come with you. Us dads gotta stick together. Oh, awesome. I thought we were gonna end it here. No, we're still going. Sweet. You're right. This is one of Lucien's more elaborate stunts. I would greatly treasure having another parent by my side. Also, I gotta monitor you in case you try to make a move on Hugo, man. But let's go. I was hoping... It is Hugo! Oh my god! This son of a bitch. Hugo. I know about your wrestling collection. That makes me one-up Damien. Choose me over him. Come on, man. Damien and I walk into the school and are immediately greeted by an anxious-looking Hugo. Hey, Damien. You're here in record time. I wouldn't miss it for the world, dear friend. Don't call him dear friend. Wow. Whatever it is, it doesn't seem like this is Hugo and Damien's first time to the "my kids are in trouble" rodeo. Oh no. I mean, honestly, Lucien and Ernest being friends wouldn't surprise me, except Lucien's a high schooler and Ernest is an 8th grader. What is it this time? This, Damien, you have to see to believe. Damien and I fall into step behind Hugo, who leads us through the busy corridors of the school. We pass by several classes in session, and I vaguely wonder if Amanda's around. Hugo eventually ushers us into a small boiler room with a flight of rickety stairs leading down into darkness. I'm scared, guys. Like, what is happening? Watch your step. I can hear faint voices drifting up from the basement, and they don't sound happy. As I'm led into the depths of the school, I recall the antics I got into as an angsty middle schooler. At least I had enough sense to stay out of creepy basements. It is Ernest! It's straight up Lucian and Ernest! We find another teacher in a boiler room tucked away in the back of the basement. With him are Lucian and Ernest, Hugo's son. Lucian has a bloody nose. They got into a fight. In the basement? Thanks for coming. I can't make heads or tails of this. I look around the scene of the crime and see a bunch of bricks and some masonry tools scattered around. What happened here? Ernest punched me. Lucian tried to kill me. I mean...
Oh my.
I don't know. The room falls silent. I was not trying to kill you, dumbass. I was just trying to build a brick wall around you and see what would happen. You promised me there was wine down here. You tricked me. Or wait, it's more like, I don't remember what voice I gave him. He's stupid. Of course he'd want wine. Whoa, wait a second. Lucian, did you try to cask of Amontillado, Ernest? Cask of Amontillado? Is that from a book? I'm neither confirming nor denying that. I turn to Damien and whisper to him. What's Cask of Amontillado? It's a classic Edgar Allen Poe short story where a man gets his enemy drunk, lowers him down into his cellar with the promise of wine and a fine vintage, and buries him alive behind a brick wall. Jesus! It's a lovely story. Of course you think it is. Lucian like father like son, I guess, but it really doesn't seem like it. So wait, Lucian, you tried to do that to him? I was curious to see how it would turn out. I wasn't actually going to leave him there. What was the thought process here? That Ernest was just going to sit still while you slowly built a tomb around him? Well, it worked for like 20 minutes because he's an idiot, but then he realized I'd lied to him about the wine. And you were cackling maniacally. That sort of tipped me off. Ernest, 20 minutes? Dad.
Huh?
It took you 20 minutes? Son, we just did an entire 2-week unit on the cast of Amontillado, and it took you 20 minutes to realize that Lucian was leading you into an elaborate ruse? Did you even read the story? Hugo, you are such a teacher, Dad. I read the first 5 pages and then read a review of the movie. Just like Amanda did with the thing. That's funny. It's only 5 pages long and there is no movie. Yeah, you're right. I paid Lucian to read it for me. Actually, he didn't even pay me, so when you think about it, this was me teaching him a lesson. Damien and Hugo both had their heads in their hands. You guys are always telling me to engage in the literature, and I did. I don't see a problem here. Alright, I'm filing this under what the hell. Don't do whatever that was again. You two are both suspended for a week. Good, I can't stand them. Maybe that'll mean, that might mean Lucian's around for Damien's second date, which I don't want. Ernest and Lucian high five. They're cool after this. Ugh. The teacher starts to stomp up the stairs. Hugo, I'll cover your class. Take your son home. Mr. Bloodmarch, you too. Thank you for your meditation. For your mediation, my bad. We all head up the stairs and out of the school in tense silence. Can I get Amanda while I'm here? Lucian, Damien, and I all pile into my car and begin the drive home. Lucian immediately puts his hood up and stares out the window angrily. I'm not going to therapy again.
Oh no.
I know, son. It's entirely up to you whether or not you want to go. But I care about you and I can see that you're struggling, so if you do decide that you would like to speak to a professional about your feelings, we can do that too. Damien is turning out to be a really good father for such a shit kid. Maybe you can spend this next week looking for a summer job, I know how much you want your own car. He's not even punishing him. I guess the suspension's punishment enough. I can't believe Damien's keeping his cool. I'm impressed. Fine. Thanks for not freaking out too hard. I love you, son. Lucian continues staring out the window. Love you too. We spend the rest of the drive in relative silence. The moment we pull into the driveway, Lucian hops out of the car, slams the door, and runs inside. I didn't expect to have that conversation in front of you. He and I have a lot we need to work out. It's alright, and all things considered, Lucian's bricklaying was pretty good, so there's your silver lining. There is that, yes. He's probably just going through a phase. I really admire how you handled that. Does this kind of thing happen a lot? As much as I'm curious about this one, and I kind of think that this is the truth, I'm gonna say I admire him. You know? You were a lot more diplomatic with him than I would have been. I just want what's best for him, and I don't think yelling at him would do either of us any favors. It rarely does. You're a good dad. Ah, eggplants! See you around soon? It would be my honor and my pleasure. Damien bows with a flourish. Classy. I come home to find Amanda curled up on the couch with a blanket watching TV. I plop down next to her. Why does this always happen? Yo. What you watching? Tiny House Hunting Brothers Extreme Edition. I feel like this was mentioned earlier. Maybe not. I hate this show. The couple on screen bickers back and forth while standing in an extremely small house made out of recycled bottles. The Tiny House Hunting Brothers watch them with bemused expressions, both of their heads touching the low ceiling. I told you I wanted a 2-bed, 2-bath, shabby, chic cottage. This house doesn't even have a bathroom. But honey, the outhouse is only 20 yards away. It's not that bad. I am not pooping outside, Greg. Why don't they just get a regular-sized house? I don't know. How'd afternoon tea go? It got strange. We had to go to the school to pick up Lucian since he tried to. He lured Ernest down to the cellar with the promise of a fine vintage and then tried to brick him into the wall, right? How did you know that? Has everyone read this story except for me? Lucian live-streamed the entire thing. Of course he did. This entire day is beyond me. But otherwise, it was a fun day. That Damien guy's a character, but he's really good company, and a surprisingly diplomatic dad. I dig his style. You know what? Me too. I really do. He's cool. Damien's cool. And, like, I didn't get any shadows with him. I don't think. Did I? No, I got no shadows with him. And I got, like, 2 eggplants. So I think that deserves to be S rank, but it might be A rank.
The jammiest bits of jam.
The jammiest bit of jam. Oh.
I read it in an article once about the Victorian era.
Of course you did. That's awesome. Bowling? Do we go bowling with him later? I don't know. Interview with the Vampire. That's a cool reference. Anyways, so, now we just have 3 second dates to do. We have to do the second date with Joseph, we have to do the second date with Craig, and we have to do the second date with Damien. And then I'm gonna see if there's a scene once you do the second dates with all the dads. And then I'm gonna do the third date with my boy Hugo. I wonder if he admires how we brought Damien here, because we're cool like that, you know? You know, Hugo, we're just cool like that. Anyways, I'm Matt Turp, and I'll see you guys next time on Dream Daddy, a dad dating simulator. Bye bye.